All right, let's start at the beginning. This is Doctor Who Weekly, number 1, published October 17th, 1979, the very first issue. You can see from the cover here, we've got Tom Baker and some free transfers. I don't know whether that means that's t-shirt transfers or stickers. What are they? Are they iron-ons? I don't know. Anyway, this is going to be all ad hoc, just, thumbing through these magazines and checking them out. The original Doctor Who Weekly was largely focused on kids, and it later moved to have more of an adult focus on it. So these early issues, we're going to see a heavy focus on comics. And this opens with Doctor Who and the Iron Legion. I remember this comic book was published as an individual comic book later. I believe it was full color by Marvel as part of the Doctor Who comic book range. I had a number of those, including this one. Not a bad story. I've read this one so many times. We get past that, and then we get to a nice article on the Daleks. And you can see that picture there of Davros. You can see around his mouth. I believe that's from a promotional photo where they didn't have the mouth makeup in place, because you can clearly see it looks a little bit like a clown mouth there. Anyway, kind of a good article on the Daleks through their various stories. We've got Hartnell there. We've got, I believe that's a Pertwee story there. And we're back to the comics. Tales from the TARDIS featuring War of the Worlds. I haven't read that one. Not familiar with that guy. So again, this first issue, heavy on the comics. Coming through, we've got a story on Doctor Who. Interestingly, this was 1979, and it says it all started 16 years ago. Well, we're a far cry from that now. So Doctor Who really has moved on since 1979. Then they run these crazy caption things through a number of issues. In this one here, you've got Tom Baker standing in an immigrant visa line with a bunch of aliens, and you're supposed to fill in your caption and send it in. We've got some ads over there, footballer stamps. The photo file, you'll see that in the next couple of episodes where they have different, you cut these out, and I don't know whether you make kind of a notebook kind of thing, or you hang them up or whatever. But again, kind of kid focused, something to put on your wall. And even more comics, The Return of the Daleks. I haven't read that one either. So more comics, which, if you were a kid in 1979, I'm sure this was fantastic. And then we get to the end. So that was a pretty short first issue. And you've got this ad with Mr. Bellamy. Mr. Bellamy ran ads through a number of the initial issues. Never heard of Mr. Bellamy. I guess this is a UK treat. Looks like it's a black licorice, maybe a string licorice. All right, that's all the first issue. All right, let's move on to issue number 2, October 24th, 1979, for a whopping price of 12p. Is 12 pence. Is that like pennies? Was this like 12 cents, which I guess would have been, I'm guessing maybe 25 cents American at the time, which would make sense because I think American comic books were around 25 cents. So if the exchange rate was 12p to around 25 cents, that would make sense to me. So your chance to win £5. And then we've got some more transfers. Again, I don't know whether those were iron-ons or stickers. Got sticking with Tom Baker here in our Smash second issue. Seacon 79, Tom Baker in action. So some shots from a fan convention or Comic-Con. Then we've got the next part of the Iron Legion comic. Going through that again, that's a good story. Then we've got a story here on the Cybermen. Continuing our look at the many monsters of Doctor Who and following on from last week's Dalek feature. So it kind of makes sense. The first issue, one of the most famous villains was the Daleks. Cybermen are also a very popular villain. And then we've got a monster mix. So a word find. It's kind of cool. War of the Worlds. I guess this is part 2. The first part was in the first issue. And then we've got, I guess it's a recap of the very first Doctor Who story, An Unearthly Child. That's cool. Yeah, it's an it's a recap, episode by episode. It was interesting back then, they actually named the episodes. You don't have that now, or you didn't have that later on. I'm not sure when they stopped that. I'm not as well versed in the Hartnell and Troughton eras as I am, Pertwee on. So I'm not quite sure when they stopped naming them. We've got our second installment in our crazy caption from Robots of Death. So eventually I'm sure we'll start seeing the results of these crazy caption contests. Oh, that's kind of an interesting behind the scene photo there. I went back there a second of the TARDIS on set. That's kind of cool. I've not seen that photo before. And then we've got another photo file. We had Hartnell in the first episode, Troughton here in the second. Again, I guess you cut these out and you put them in a notebook or pin them to your wall or something. And then back to even more comics. And we can get a TARDIS tuner or a radio. The amazing Doctor Who radio for all space kids. What if you're not a space kid? I did a quick check on eBay and there are a handful of listings for the TARDIS tuner, and none of them are cheap. This one is listed for a whopping $800. This listing also has a video of the unit in operation.
Ousted in such short order. The shortest serving Prime Minister in the government's history, Michel Barnier, suggested that from Catherine shortly when we cross to Paris.
Here's another listing for just under $400 with some better photos. For those prices, you've got to be a hardcore collector or have money to burn to want this in your collection. All right, back to the magazine. And we land again with Mr. Bellamy closing things out, his amazing licorice novelties. So, okay, that was issue number 2. All right, the thrilling third issue, number 3, October 31st, 1979. We've got comic strips, features, and pinups. And our third set of full-color action transfers. Let's dig in and see what's in here. Iron Legion, Part 3. Again, good comic. Third installment in the Crazy Caption Contest. We've got something from Robot here. We'll have to see when we get some results of that. So first issue we saw Daleks, second issue we saw Cybermen, and here we are with the Ice Warriors. So it's kind of a cool, look at each of the villains, the popular villains here. Got some nice behind the scenes photos of dressing up that guy in the costume. That looks like fun. He looks happy. The Monster Mix answers from the previous, that's kind of cool. In case you couldn't find something, and now we have a planet puzzle. Interesting. Are you supposed to circle that stuff? When it's white letters on black text, that must have been a little difficult. War of the Worlds, Part 3. Oh, this is by H.G. Wells. So this, I didn't even pay attention to this when we went through it the first time. So this isn't even a Doctor Who story, is it? Yeah, it's an H. That's kind of weird. All right, Part 3 of Tales from the TARDIS. So it's not about Doctor Who. It's H.G. Wells. Okay. Then we get to Doctor Who story number 2, The Dead Planet. Cool. Given another recap of a very early Hartnell story. Moving on. Photo file. First one was Hartnell. Second one was Troughton. Makes sense that the third one's Pertwee. And then we get back to Return of the Daleks, Part 3, comic strip. Again, very, very heavy on comic strips in these early issues. And Mr. Bellamy again, closing things out. We love you, Mr. Bellamy. Numero 4, November 7th, 1979. Attack of the Yeti, free transfers. Even more free transfers. I wonder if kids liked those back in the day. Iron Legion again. Good comic. Crazy Caption number 4. We haven't seen the results of 1 through 3 yet, That is from... what episode is that from? What story? Is that Mask of Mandragoria? Or is that... I don't know. I don't know which one that is. Starting next week in issue number 5, a great new comic strip. Okay, so I guess did we close out Iron Legion? We had Daleks, we had Cybermen, then we had Ice Warriors, and now we've got the Yeti. I haven't actually seen that one. That's a Troughton episode. I'm gonna have to watch that. Oh, is it Troughton? That doesn't look like Troughton. Oh, poses for a publicity photo with one of the Yeti creatures. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a Troughton story. Again, forgive my lack of knowledge on Hartnell and Troughton. War of the Worlds Part 4. You know, I discovered in the last episode this is not a Doctor Who comic book. It only took me 3 issues to catch on. Then we've got Dead Planet, Story 2, Part 2. So they covered Part 1 in the first one. They're stretching them out now. Okay, fourth one, Tom Baker of the Photo File. I'm cutting these out and put them on our walls, I guess. Turn of the Daleks, continuing that comic strip. Again, very, very heavy on the comic strips in these. Another ad for the Doctor Who radio for all space kids. Mind-blowing volume control. Built-in radio receiver. Picks up radios 1, 2, and 3. So is that like BBC 1, 2, and 3 over there? Did you have radios 1, 2, and 3? How did your radio work? I'm going to have to look that up. Constant flashing laser lights. Radio tuner for crystal clear reception. Well, I hope so. Time warp bleeper control switch. Okay, you're reaching now. You're really reaching. Tough molded matte black casing stands up to the heaviest landings. Sliding door for battery supplies. Okay. All right, we got a nice full color picture here of Baker from, was that Be Deadly Assassin? And that's the last page. Okay. Issue number 5, November 14th, 79. Doesn't look like we had transfers in this one. Looks like we get a fantastic competition for 3 great rally bikes. Again, a heavy focus on kids on this, which made sense. Oh, Iron Legion Part 5. I guess we hadn't finished that out. I thought we had. This is where the story starts to get a little weird. Then we're back on a Hartnell story recap. Beyond the Sun. Again, back when they named each episode. And then there's your entry to win a rally bicycle. What do you have to do? Is this what's different between the two things? This is for kids. All right, the Cyberman has a mouth in one and doesn't in the other. The TARDIS has like a flash at the top in the one and not the other. Baker, his tie scarf thing, not his scarf, but the thing under his vest is different. There's a difference in the bottom right panel on the TARDIS. Okay, here I am. Great. Figured that out. War of the Worlds, continuing that comic strip. Again, a non-Doctor Who story. And then something on the Master. This week, we present a fact-filled feature on perhaps the most dangerous of the Doctor's enemies. So there we go. You can see our scans here that we have are getting a little sloppy. Crazy Caption 5. That's from Day of the Daleks. Or Destiny of the Daleks. And then Photo Profile. We don't have... we had Baker last time, and I guess we're at a point in time where Davison hasn't made his debut as the Doctor yet. And so we're moving on to Mary Tam here. And then we've got Soul of the Cyberman, a new comic strip here. Now the scans are a lot better. And a full color from the 3 Doctors. And I believe that's the end of this one. Yeah, that was the end of that one. And we don't have any Bellamy. Oh, we missed Mr. Bellamy. Okay, so we had iron-on transfers and we had bicycle competition. Now we've got digital watches to be won here in issue number 6. That's a nice picture of Lala and Tom. The team share a joke during the shooting of the recent Destiny of the Dalek story. Yeah, that's a cool photo. I like that. Iron Legion is not dead yet. That's still ticking. Okay, so now you've got to draw something, I guess, to win a watch. Marco Polo. God, don't we all wish that story still existed and you could watch it? There's one story I wish I could watch, man. That is it. War of the Worlds, Part 6. Again, a non-Doctor Who story. And now we're back to a feature on popular monsters, and we've got the Centaurans. It's kind of cool. Crazy caption number 6. We got to start seeing some crazy caption winners soon. Then we've got Lalla Ward. Last week it was Mary Tam, or last issue it was Mary Tam. Again, I'm pretty sure at this point in time that this was published, Baker was the Doctor. Yeah, that would have made sense, 79. More comic, Marvel Winter Specials. Hey, Mr. Bellamy's back. Hey, we missed you. You were gone. And this is a different ad for him. Anybody out there that can talk about Mr. Bellamy, that can educate us more on him? Was he like a favorite childhood treat? Was he a big thing over there? Never heard of it here over in the States. So, all right, that should wrap up issue number 6. Now we're on to number 7. So we were winning bikes, we were winning watches, and now you can win a portable television. Okay, TV's number 1 hero. Picture Troughton just kind of randomly thrown in there. Iron Legion refuses to die. I don't remember this part in the comic book. I'm sure I've read the first half of it a billion times. And okay, which monsters are which? Match up the names with the pictures. Well, that's not too hard, is it? To potentially win a TV. Keys of Marinus. Again, continuing with exploration of Hartnell stories. War of the Worlds Part 7. Man, these comics just keep going on and on. Who cares? Oh, we finally have some, I guess, writers or readers writing in. We've been absolutely amazed with your fantastic response to our new weekly. So with no further ado, here's a sampling of your opinions. All right, I guess a bunch of people writing in, talking about how they think about it. I would like to congratulate you on your artwork. It is marvelous. All right, and then we go back to monster features. We've got the Ogrons. I have to admit, I don't think I've seen the Ogrons anywhere. I think that's a Pertwee. Yep, that's definitely a Pertwee. Yeah, I haven't seen all of Pertwee. I've seen maybe 30% of it. I'm working my way through it, though. And crazy caption number 7, that's from Planet of Evil, I believe. And we finally have the results of crazy caption number 1. And this is from Drew Stew, or David Stew, of Coventry, age 13, wins £5. Now, don't forget to smile when we get to the counter, chaps. Okay? Age 13, 1979. We're not going to be picky. Signed color photos of Baker to the runner-ups. Colin is 6. John is 7. Yep. Young kids reading this magazine for sure. Photo file. Robert Delgado played the Master during Pertwee's run. And Soul of the Cybermen continues. So very formulaic that we've seen going on here. It tends to be comic book heavy, a feature on a monster, and a review of a Hartnell episode. And then we've got an ad here to buy what? What are they selling? Hero and Villains Mail Order Company, blah, 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 blah. Flexi figures, t-shirts, peel and press. So buy some swag. So that's the end of that one. No Mr. Bellamy here. We miss you, Mr. Bellamy. Number 8. We're going to try and go, I think we're trying to do 10 of these per video here. So what are we giving away this week? $5 prize winning competition. So we had bikes, we had watches, we had a TV. Now we're just going straight to hard cash. The Iron Legion is still going on. Oh, they finished it up. It's done. Finally finished it. Crazy caption number 8. The Cybermen coming out of the ground there. And results of crazy caption number 2. All right. You can be Al Jolson tomorrow night. I don't know who the hell Al Jolson is. So apparently Al Jolson was one of the United States' most famous and highest paid stars of the 1910s and 1920s. I've never heard of this guy before. Let's check out a quick YouTube video on him.
Watch for the mail. I'll never fail. If you don't get a letter, then you know I'm in jail. Hey.
Yeah, I don't get the appeal, but it was a very different time. Then there's this video here.
I've been away from you a long time. I never thought I'd miss you so.
Okay.
Somehow I feel
Alright.
your love is...
That certainly didn't age well, but again, it was a very different time. Okay, back to the magazine. Then we're doing the Aztecs. I have seen that one, but I wasn't fully paying attention the whole time. War of the Worlds continues. H.G. Wells story, we've talked about that. And some more reader feedback. We've got some pictures, I guess, they sent in. Again, you can see a lot of kids reading this magazine. The Doctor and the Daleks on film. I tried that movie. I didn't like it at all. I couldn't tell you anything about it other than I didn't like it. And that I'm never going to watch it again. Dalek Invasion Earth 2150. I don't think I've seen that one because that's the second one, I think. I don't know. No expert in those. Next week, we're going to get the Zygons. And we've got the Brigadier, Nicholas Courtney, for our photo vials. And another comic with the Centaurans. So you can see they're relying heavily on comics. I don't know whether these comics were created exclusively for this magazine or if they're just reprinting them. They're black and white, so I don't know. Then we've got a Star Wars ad there. So Palitoy, I believe that's what they were called. The company making them or distributing them over in the UK. Here it was Kenner. Here in the States. And then there's an ad up there for Genesis of the Daleks on BBC Records and Tapes. I had that back in like 1979, and I listened to it over and over and over again. I think it's just the audio from the story, and it just suited itself really well to just an audio. I don't remember if there was any additional narration thrown in or not. Haven't listened to that in like 40 years. And here we are again with our figures, t-shirts, Peel and Press, and no Mr. Bellamy. Number 9. Stick with me. We're going to do 2 more and then wrap it up for this video. What are we giving away this week? £5. Okay, we're not giving away bikes or watches or TVs anymore. We're just straight up cash. What do we got on the left there? Palitoy. So they're starting to get some different advertisers. And we're finally done Iron Legion, and we've got City of the Damned. New comic. I don't think I've read this one. Then continuing with the monsters, we got the Zygons with a very weird picture there. That's just a little weird. And the Zygon on the left there looks a little... The eyes, you can really see the eyes there. War of the Worlds Part 9. Jesus. Did kids reading this care about that? Or are they just here for the Doctor? War of the Worlds. Got some more feedback from readers. And then the censor rights. Another... I'm not familiar with that story. Yeah, that's a Hartnell story. I've only made it to... Where did I make it to with Hartnell so far? Vicky. We got Vicky. And that's where I'm at. Crazy Caption 9. And the results of Crazy Caption number 3. Where Benton, is that Benton? Saying, sorry, sir, you can't come in here without a tie. That's from Paul Batten, age 12. 5 pounds. Good on you, Paul. Good on you. All right, our photo file pinup, Louise Jameson. So we've done the doctors, and now we're doing Baker's companions, Mary Tam, Lalla Ward, and now Louise Jameson. Where's Sarah Jane? Why haven't we done her? What's going on? Okay, Stolen TARDIS, Part 1. Are we done War of the Worlds? Did we finish that up? Is this even a Doctor Who story? I don't see any Doctor Who stuff in it. All right, Tente. Tene? I don't know. Is some sort of Lego knockoff over there? More specialized pieces than any other brick building toy on the market. You're taking a swipe at Lego there? And that's why Tente, how do you say that? Ships, road, and space vehicles are incredibly realistic. Individual kits, £1.75. Supersets, £20.75. So we got a boat and a fuel tanker there and some space guys. Never heard of them before. Some sort of Lego knockoff. The problem with Lego knockoffs is the bricks never really stick together. And then we've got here, I guess, an ad for the Dalek movie. It's the poster for the 1966. So that's another pinup. I don't like it. I don't like the movie. I don't like the poster. Not for me. Okay, last one for this video. Number 10. December 19th, 79. What are we giving away? 100 Doctor Who annuals to be won. Okay, that's kind of cool. 100 of them, huh? Pinup. Got those guys. Ice Lord, Monster Peloton. Doctor Who City of the Damned. Again, real heavy on the comics. Crazy Caption number 10. And then results of Crazy Caption 4. So there are 6 Crazy Captions behind. If the pen is mightier than the sword, let's see you write me out of this. Okay, that's actually kind of funny. Good on you, Tim Westmacott, for winning £5. That's actually kind of funny. Oh, and whoever scanned this, they solved the thing. So spot and mark each doctor hidden above. Well, that's kind of maddening. 100 Doctor Who annuals to be won if you could spot the hidden doctors. Normally priced £1.75. Our prizes are getting a little less in value and price. I'll have to look that up. All right, Monsters of Doctor Who, focusing on Davros. Again, they're using a photo there you see on the left where I don't think his mouth makeup was in place. More reader feedback. And War of the Worlds, just Jesus. Can that story be over? Letter from the Doctor, we've been ignoring those, who cares? The French Revolution, I've seen that Hartnell picture before. It's a very iconic Hartnell picture. I haven't seen this one, if it still exists and hasn't been wiped. Again, I'm not that well versed on Hartnell. Ian Martyr, again, going through Baker's companions, and where is Sarah Jane? Why has she not appeared yet? Stolen TARDIS Part 2. Again, we didn't see anything in Part 1 that was actually Doctor Who related. It's just like lizard guy running around. Okay. Oh, an ad for Star Trek from December 15th at Empire Leicester Square. Okay. Ad for a movie for Star Trek, just kind of thrown in there. Not the best Star Trek movie. Kind of a disappointment when you saw it at the time. It was way too serious, way too boring. Didn't have the spirit of Star Trek. So, all right, that was the first 10 issues. There's a whole ton of issues to go through. As I do these, I'm not going to touch anything that's anywhere near recent. I'm just going to be going through older ones. So I think they're on like issue 600 or something. I'm not going to go anywhere near the current issues. But been an interesting look back on the first 10 issues. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Maybe it's a trip back in time for you. Maybe you were a reader of these and remember these. Please comment on your experiences with this magazine below, and look for the next installment in this video series where we're going to look at the next 10 issues. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. See you in the next one.